This is Cobham Schwab PSC, which is 9 to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12, 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. CAB, but Cobham Schwab PSC. And this is services for getting hit by a Trailblazer SUV here in Mosaic, Washington on Division. I have therapy, and I'm at the Gold's Gym in Richland and Kennewick on Queensgate, and also here on Kennewick, Washington, which is on South 385 in Clearwater. On Eli Street in Kennewick, Washington, they have a training facility, Gold's Gym. And this Cobham Schwab is the coordinating for Moses Lake. Since I got hit here by a Trailblazer SUV, I was crossing the crosswalk. I was crossing the street. There's no law against crossing the street. And this officer attacked me. I was on the cross street, and he told me I couldn't cross the street. He said I couldn't cross the street for crossing the street. So I went on the sidewalk. I had no warrants for my arrest, and he assaulted me. I have no warrants for outstanding warrants for my arrest, and I have no weapons of any kind. This is Director Mortgage, Cobham A. Schwab, and this is the 1240 on Pioneer Way. And I was crossing the street. Officers start problems with me here at Moses Lake, Washington. He's on YouTube, Facebook at the gas station. The gentleman has a bat in his hand, and I called the police department and Andy Miller's office, prosecutor, at 509-735-3591. Now we come in and do a walk-in to an estimate of finding exactly how much damages I got them for here in Moses Lake, Washington. I was hit by a Trailblazer, white Trailblazer, by Stephanie Swanberg, Maine Jordan. Swanberg is a judge in Kennewick, Washington. And this is Jordan A. Jordan Swanberg. I was hit by a Trailblazer, and the officer attacked me at City Hall with his insinuations, and another police officer attacked me at Sunny Farms. And the guy that runs the property, I'm telling this at Sunny Farms, I am in his face because I got to clean up the highway. Othello, Washington, the Cimaron 5IC, the Baker Pie Restaurant Bar and Motel, also City Hall. We excavated City Hall in Othello, Washington. That's Sean R. Logan, the mayor of Othello. That's his house, which is at 1005, which is on Facebook, YouTube. And we got Sunny Farms, since the people drops me off at Sunny Farms, and the GTA drops me off at City Hall in Othello. The GTA 5th Division here in Moses, and the BFT is Ben Franklin Transit Center, and that's Andy Miller's office. And people bus in the GTA. This is 9 a.m. to 12. Yeah, Department of Licensing is always wanting a record of your portfolio, which is here at Coleman Shopper's office, 91215. Now, Coleman Schwab Attorney's Office here in Moses Lake, Washington is hours of 912, which is only 29 minutes away, which services I got. cross street. The cross street into Eric D. Olson. He's a property owner, and across the street, other is another property owner. And crossing the street, basically, and then I set down my bag and everything down. An officer attacked me, assaulted me, and took my money. And then when I sat on the sidewalk, I went to Adams County Superior Court. I went upstairs, commissioners, upstairs, downstairs, and she doesn't work there for me. The Citizen Curriculum does not work for Adams County Superior Court, and neither does Mr. Judge Buer. And Carol J. Benzel dispatched units to have the officer arrested when I'm sitting upstairs. They told me there's many angles in processing how the system works to have the officer arrested and detained.
So
But
I think
they told me to come back here since they got the action report filled out, and it was, it was with you, Becky, that's right. And I had documentation, but they said they didn't need more than that. They needed me to go in and see if I can get a lawyer, if you guys cover that, since the original documentation was done by 24-Hour Fitness here in Moses, and also another fitness center, and the guy that came in the back threatened me with bodily harm and told me to leave the gym. So I'm in Annie Miller's office, and also in the prosecutor's upstairs with Dixon and Carol J. Benzel, and there's a bunch of staff members upstairs. I'm in the records. So I'm pulling all the records out. Mr. Soderman, state patrolman, is at Mueller's funeral home, his dead body. But 507, Apartment 205, they came upstairs for Lola and Roberta Barela and Felix Barela. My mother, father, and children are inside the services over at Cimaron 5 INC. President of India, the President of Pakistan, and Donald Trump and Ivanka Barela at International Airport in Moses Lake. They're outside with me at International Airport, and Melina looks like Roberta Barela. So their promises of taking care of Roberta, I took care of her. She had cancer, throat cancer, breast cancer, and she was pushed off a ladder by an immigrant, a legal citizen, and also the property owners is Jay Mueller. The illegal immigrant with the cherry orchard, they broke her leg. It took her a year, 2 years to recover from that, but she got cured from that. She had therapy with the gentleman that was at the Gold's Gym. And they were going, I needed official documentation, but I gave them that. But I had to go to the Moses Lake Police Department, and they wouldn't give me the records on that, but I have to go to online with the WSB.gov. But the State Patrol office dropped me off at Cimaron 5 and dropped me off at Sean Logan's house at 1005, but the house caught on fire. And all the information that we got on files is no more, because the whole place caught on fire, but they didn't go inside. In certain areas, we still have files and computers at the insurance company and City Hall. In Othello, Washington. But Moses Lake, I got Todd Levette and Amber and the jewelry store. They have to reinsure their UBI number, their business license every year. They got to walk in and pay for it or whatever. But their concern was, Andy Miller's concern was, I'm in the commissioner's office and I'm trying to retrieve all the information for the action report. And they told me I returned the key back to City Hall, to the city manager and administration office in City Hall. It used to be Sophie, Dick Dean, and there's a new one. But I went to talk to Sophie over at the Lady Lord's Hospital, and I was trying to get my itemized bill that I paid in full, country financial and stuff. And they said I needed a lawyer or something that would know the criteria of my wounds and my services that I had, but I didn't collect any PIP coverage. I didn't use the $10,000. So I'm at U.S. Bank, Chase Bank, Bank of America, and the Social Security Office says I have $35 million in my account. So I opened an account at Bank of America, so I went looking for a lawyer. And they said, you need somebody in your criteria where you talk to, representative, and you need conversation. I said, that would be Schwab. And she goes, well, how can you do that? Like, how can you prove that? Well, I can give you the original document, snapshot it, and scan it, and put it on computer, and put it on Facebook, and then put it on. It's on Facebook, and it's on Andy Miller. I left the computer laptop on Andy Miller's office. The Washington Bar Association and detains in areas of the domain is Washington Bar Association. I built a law firm. I didn't build a law firm. I went to McKenna Law Firm, and I was sweeping up the driveway. I wasn't saying I ran a law firm. I was sweeping law firm, McKenna law firm. I didn't say I ran law firm. So the information that they have on the computers and the NASDAQ system, the officers who write information down, is all incorrect. So they said I needed somebody that knew when I was talking when the incident happened, and I am under therapy, but I didn't use PIP. So they said I didn't use my country financial. There's nothing they can simulate or abstract or pull any files because private confidential information. I said, yeah, that's Swanberg, and that's Benton City. I have no association with. I don't deal with Swanberg, and he's a judge now, but he's an attorney before he was a police officer, before he was marshal bailiffs, and he works with bailiffs and clerks and court staff members. And that's Stephanie M. Swanberg. I protected her, and I don't want nothing from her because I'll take care of all the services for the therapy myself. But she goes. They said they were there. That's the reason why they couldn't do nothing about stepping up or dropping charges. I said, well, they dropped charges because I didn't do nothing wrong. I had no weapons. When I was in the facility, they refused to get my document. I had to sign until, and I'm not gonna, my property ain't for sale, and I'm not bailing out, and I'm not giving you any money, or I'm not gonna give you a loan, I'm gonna swipe my credit card, you're gonna release me. So I sat, and I sat there for like a week over at Adams County with the judges and staff members. But they said I need the official of me talking when it happened, so it'd be officially so I can get for crossing the street. They said I crossed the street, but I had no warrants. That was my arrest. And do you do that? Retain you or buy you?
What
use you for
incident are you talking
for dropping
about?
a charge? I was crossing the street basically, and it was.
And they charged you?
They didn't charge me, but they didn't give me a ticket or nothing. They didn't give me a citation. They just put me in a car and threw me in a car and assaulted me and took all my stuff from me. And when they had the stuff with them, they had it in the trunk at the sheriff's office. Oh, I'm sorry, Dixon courtroom. When you pulled up in the Superior Court 210 West Broadway, that's my driveway. And when he opened the trunk, he persuaded to break my laptop and my S10. It's all paid for, and I'm only like $300 on it. I'm still paying on it. I opened the claim out. Oh, I left the other bus. I left my other phone, not on the bus, at the Freddy courthouse. Okay. And when I left and pertained it and located it, it's not waterproof. So when they tried damaging it, they put it in the water. I got a new one. But
so you're up today? Okay. So if you guys want to go up into the conference room, you can either go up the elevator or the stairs, and I'll be there in just a second.
And then went to Mueller. I got off the bus at Mueller's, and the bus driver, I had to give her directions where to drop me off since she was new. And they didn't tell her nothing. But she's protected.
Oh, yeah. Do you know where it is?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
She's protected. I dropped the account in US Bank, Chase Bank, Open Bank. I loaned Ajmer Singh Nijjar, Cimaron. He wants $1 million. He got $1 million.
Yeah.
And then Kandar, grandfather, wanted 80. I gave him 80,000. And the other part of the 600,000, that's Banner Bank. I went open an account, Facebook, YouTube, and then I signed it back and closed the account to make sure nobody takes the 35 million account plus the APR that sits on the credit cards that are issued. That's why. Do you do that? Can I retain you, or should I just stick with McKinnon because he took it to the Washington Bar Association, and then I took that to Andy Miller, and then I left the laptop on the desk.
Yeah.
So a long time ago, Mueller ran the funeral home, and that centuries. Ever since George Washington became president of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated for the third time, and they finally he's dead, and then they lowered him. But I'm saying they got Zega and Andy Miller put sod out on the south lawn of the Mueller's administration office. He had Levi jackets, some Lees and jeans that I paid for, all the services, and they slipped her chovies in Godfather's Pizza. I didn't do that. They gave it to her fresh. So, did I stick with McKinnon?
Yeah, you need to stick with him. Hi, everybody. You can either go up the elevator or up the stairs. Just up the stairs and take a left real quick.
The big meeting room up top?
Yep, in the conference room just to the left when you go upstairs. I'll be right there.
But I did take all the money in deposit.
Okay.
And I was just walking across the
Yeah, I
street.
think you need to stick with your attorney. That's not something that
I gave him calls. Yeah, And he gave me over 100,000 phone calls to them, and they finally returned it, and he apologized to me when I was in the district court. He said, do everything you can to have him drop charges. And McKinnon was approaching me. I said, no, I'm not looking for criminal charges in the county. I want you to drop charges. And I don't know what he was probing for.
Yeah,
But I said, you just need to drop charges because you didn't write me a ticket. You remember Miranda rights, and assaulted in many ways, and pushing and shoving, and they handcuffed me and threw me on the ground and dragged me one and made things up until in front of the he has a body cam on him. So
Well, you know, you can get that, or your attorney can get that.
Right. So they apologized and they said they're going to do what he can for crossing the street.
Yeah.
So whatever they cross-reference the clients, cross-examination, they said he's young. So the 40, 60 years of experience, they made me sit, and they're making me asking questions of what I think of this, that. Donald Trump was with Roberta Barela, and Bill Gates with Roberta, so she's not a trophy wife, as you put it, but Melinda does look like Roberta, but I'm saying she has cancer. There's better things than insinuate and start fights. How you guys, when they trying to break them up when they were together the whole time. That house that this sits on is still mine.
Okay,
So
so I've got
I
an appointment,
was-
I gotta go up, and we can't
McKinnon?
help you. Yep,
Thank you.
Yep, so.